welcome to the Unbreakable Hearts channel.
You looked so
different. Yeah, well, my hair was buzzed and I didn't have these sweet old tatties yet.
You played guitar, right?
Uh-huh, still do. Still do.
Good morning here, YouTube people. What is going on with y'all today? Happy Sunday from Atlanta, Georgia, and it's about 9 something, I guess. It's a good morning. Everything's wonderful and stays wonderful. I got no complaints here. As I said, you know, it's a typical Monday morning. You don't have any cars coming through, you know. It's really like that. It's calm. It's, you know, the nail salon is closed today, so I don't have all the hustle and bustle of people coming by. Most of them are really kind women that they wave at me, you know. Hey, how you doing, Danny? I mean, they know me by my name. And it's incredible, but, you know, they all sit up in the nail salon and talk about me all the time, always. And, you know, I like it, you know. I like that people have good, positive things to say about me. You know, because there's people out here that, you know, they think they know me. Oh, he's like this and he's like that, but they don't know me. They don't know me from Adam's horse cat. They do not know me. Yet they put my name on their tongue and talk about me in some kind of bad way. They try to paint a different picture of me. I'm not a good person. I have done wrong. I'm not going to stand here and lie to you and say, oh, I never do wrong. I'm not. No, I have done wrong. But guess what? So have you. I don't care who you are. You've done wrong. And you know it. So don't try to paint somebody in some kind of bad light. You know, I have told a few things in my videos of people of my past. I'm not calling them a bad person, because I've done bad too, okay? I would never call them a bad person. I'm just giving you examples of the things that I have gone through in my life. But I've not called anybody's name out, and I never will. I mean, that's just things of my past, you know? And it's good to put into even like a book or something of the types of situations you've been through. You know, a lot of people are quiet about it. They put it in the back of their head, but it still affects them. Just like maybe you had something in your childhood that was holding you back from something, okay? If you speak it out, and then it's like, or just this, for example, you're in school, you write something on a chalkboard, and then you take the eraser and erase it all off, okay? That is how you need to treat your life. Put it out there. And I mean, if it had something to do with your family or friends or whatever, your mom and dad, your sisters, whatever, your brothers, whoever in your life, put it out there. If they're still living, talk to them. Tell them, you know, this is what hurt me when you said this, this, and this. Get it out there. Speak about it. And then once it's out there, erase it. Just, you know, squash it. Say, you know, at that time, it bothered me. It really did. It bothered me. It bothered me so much that I carried it through my life. But now, it no longer bothers me. And once you put it out there and you speak on it, and people know what it did to you when it happened, then, it's squashed. It's done. It's erased. And then go on with your life and heal that portion of you that actually was hurting at one time because of what was said or what was done. I told this story before, but I'm going to say it again, just in a short example. My dad, I was at home. He was upset because I wasn't finding a job. Now, I went out and looked for a job, but I didn't earnestly, take all of my effort and put it into doing so, okay? And I was living at home, and my dad said to me, all you're doing is going and sitting in the mall all day. Well, I did go and try to find a job, but I wasn't putting all of my effort forward. So therefore, I was getting frustrated, okay? And my brother, being 10 years younger than me, my youngest brother, he was bothering me. He kept bothering me. And so I hit him on the side of his head. I mean, with my hand, like I swatted a fly, okay? It wasn't like I beat him down or nothing like that. But he went and told my dad, and my dad and my mom, I guess, talked to each other, and they put me out. And I'll never forget it. My dad put my bags in the back of his truck, and he drove to where I was working at, and he left me right there. And I felt really bad in some kind of way about that. I took it way into my adult life. It should never have gone there, okay? It shouldn't have gone that far. But at the time, I don't know. I respected my parents, but they weren't much on talking it out and getting it out. They would just leave it like, okay, well, it's done and over with. And in doing that, I held it within myself because I was the same way. I mean, I grew up that way. I guess they grew up that way. And it was forever like that. So then I was thinking about it. My dad, he told me a story about him. When he was young, I think he said he was 16, 17. It was somewhere in that nature. And my uncle, well, both of my uncles, and my auntie always did stay at home. I don't think she ever moved out of the house. Now, my dad's oldest sister, the very oldest one, she moved out, she got married, she had 7 kids. But anyways, the one up under her never moved out of the house all the way up until, actually, she passed away before my grandmother passed away. And she had a daughter that never moved out until finally they found something wrong with her, and I think she went to Buffalo or something like that, some kind of institution or whatever. And anyways, to get back to the story, somebody stole money from my auntie, my dad's second oldest sister. And I guess they figured it was one of the boys, because all the boys were younger than the 2 older sisters. So my dad was questioned. He said, I didn't take it. And the other 2 were questioned, and they didn't take it either, according to them. But my dad had his ideas of who took it, but, hey, they didn't do much about it. Anyway, what happened is, my grandfather said, well, I don't have any choice. Nobody wants to confess in doing it, but we know that somebody did it. And my grandmother was fond of the boys, and my grandfather was fond of that daughter, okay? And so what happened is he questioned all of them, and they all denied it, and my dad was the first to get a whooping, whatever you want to call it. He got hit with the belt, okay? And my dad looked right into his dad's eyes, my grandfather, and said, after he got whooped, he said, I told you I did not do it. And my dad was hurt by that, and I think he brought it into his life, because the way he told the story, it seemed as if he was still hurt by the fact that my grandfather would ever hit him with the belt after he looked at him in the face and told him he didn't do it. Anyway, when he looked at my grandfather and told him that, my grandfather threw the belt on the floor, because he knew my dad wasn't lying. And it was a hard situation. My dad was the only one that got belted for it. Turns out it was his older brother that stole the money from my auntie, and that's where it went, you know, no more, no less. And nobody else got any spankings. It came out later that my dad's older brother was the one that took the money. And I know my grandfather had to have felt very badly for that. I know he did. But, you know, things happen, you know. We're not all good parents, and nobody's really trained to be a parent. And, you know, I wish that I even had my children in my life, but that didn't happen, and it wasn't all of my fault. I had a lot of things that were said about me that were just not true. And I'm sure the person in that position that told those stories, she has paid back, or she's still paying back for all of that. Because it really wasn't true. It really wasn't true. And but I wasn't perfect. I never ever claimed to be perfect. But, you know, I got accused of a few things that I did not do. And, you know, so be it. That is one thing I have said, even in other videos. Even in other videos, you know, I have been accused, which, being accused, you're already put in that phase of being judged. And that is why my name is Danny, you know. Danny derives from Daniel, which means God is my judge. And you know, people have judged me basically my whole life. You know, they accuse me of doing things. I've had neighbors that have done this. I've had family members that have done this. And I have friends that have done this. And I've had acquaintances that have done this. And I've had relationship people that have done this. Judged me falsely. Accused me and judged me according to what they thought, or maybe what they were told. But all they did was listen to lies. And when you listen to lies and you go by the lies that you have been told, then that's how it ends out, you know. But when you find out the truth, then what are you going to do? Sit there with your mouth wide open? Oh my God, I judged him, I accused him, blah, blah, blah. You know, hey, it is what it is. I don't hold any grudges over people for that kind of stuff. You were told something. You had a choice whether to believe it or not believe it. You went with the first choice, to believe it. But how did you feel when you found out the truth? If you have. If you haven't, sorry. I don't need to prove myself to anybody. I don't. I am who I am. Have I done wrong? Yes. But I'm always striving to do right. I am always striving to do right. And that's what counts. Anyways, I want you to know that I love you. I love you right there. Love yourself. Love my Father God, and by all means love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.